Hey everybody, welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and NPD by somebody that has both. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and do all the socially things scrolling past you on the screen right now. Also, go and check me out on Patreon at patreon.com/earlymorningbarking, or hit the join button on the YouTube thing below this video and become a member for 2 extra videos a week that are awesome. Honestly, you're missing out. They're brilliant. They're the best ones. So, when I talk about arguing with us, we're notoriously good at this, or notoriously stubborn, or notoriously of the belief that we're right. That's not strictly true. We're not necessarily of the belief that we're right, but we're not arguing to be right, and that's what you do wrong with us. Seems absurd, doesn't it? Arguing to be right. That's what you've got to do, and I know you've tried that, right? You've come at us logically, with facts and figures, with evidence, with all of this stuff that makes you right. And no, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter. Don't care. We're not arguing to be right. We're arguing to win. And that's an entirely different state of affairs, to be perfectly honest with you. That's not what you're doing. We're not fighting the same argument. We're not fighting the same battle. And that's why we're so infuriating, quite frankly. And it's why we're pretty good at winning, because that's really what we're trying to do. If you come at us with stuff, you're going to just get trodden down, because we don't care. Reality and facts are bendable things to some of us. We can deny things. We can outright gaslight, right? No, I never said that. I didn't do that. You're wrong about that. All this stuff. We can just completely steamroll over everything. Did I mess that up? Steamroller over everything. Whatever. We're so good at it because we don't care if we're right. I'm not talking about me, by the way. I'm kind of over this a bit, because it's unpleasant behavior, and we know we're doing it because we want to be right, and we want to be right because, well, we want to win, because we want things our way. Your thoughts, feelings, opinions, whatever, don't matter. They're not part of this. You're probably wrong anyway, so we need to win. And we can do that by just pulling your argument apart, by pulling you apart, by dragging you off the subject onto something else where we definitely are right. There are so many tactics for this, and I think we sort of build it up over the years, perhaps, and learn how to do it, learn how to really put people in their place. It's an unpleasant ability. And maybe the point I got to with it was where I used it like a weapon. I decided who deserved to have that unleashed on them. And that made me a thoroughly unpleasant individual, to be perfectly honest, thinking there were situations where I was justified in doing this. Thinking that I was awesome because I could do it. Right? And I have numerous memories. This is the sort of stuff that comes out when you're out and about in the world and high and mighty and must get your way. This thing lands on retail staff a lot. That kind of thing. There's a lot of entitlement to it. And it became like a weapon. Something I can just unleash when I'm unhappy. This argumentative, impossible to break down stance. And I have to be careful, right? Sometimes, because maybe there are things that I am unmovable on in real life, and that's okay. I have actual thoughts and feelings and opinions on stuff that I don't have to move on. And I just have to learn to not be a dick about it. That's a big part of getting better with NPD, isn't it? We could sum a lot of it up like that. It's just learning how to not be a dick about it. And arguing is something that we really have to put the work into, because we might be wrong. There's a horrible concept to deal with, isn't there? Somebody else might be right. God, chilling. What a thought. What a suggestion. How dare I bring that up? That maybe, no matter how right we think we are, or how much we deserve to have the outcome of whatever situation we're in go our way, do we? Really? And maybe you might have to admit when you're wrong. That's painful, right? You might as well have to just fire that nail gun into your foot. I might as well be sat here saying that, come on. You're like, laugh. Just as if I would be wrong. As if I'm going to admit to it. As if. Try this. It seems silly. Worked for me. Don't know what to tell you. You ever heard about how it takes a big person to admit when they're wrong? It takes a bigger person to admit when they're wrong than it does to keep arguing your point relentlessly. So, can't we do that? Doesn't our MPD allow for that, for us to do the thing that makes us the bigger person? Isn't there room for that? Right? Can't we feel all high and mighty about admitting when we're wrong, because admitting when you're wrong makes you so much of a bigger person than the argumentative person that argues their point forever? Just a thought. I don't know. What do you think? That's where I go with it. If we're supposed to be all high and mighty and all of that, can we win an argument by admitting that we're wrong? By backing down? By being calm, rational, normal, reasonable? When you think about it, that's actually the route the MPD should take. It's not about being right all the time, right? It's about being the bigger person. So that involves compromise and admitting when you're wrong and cooperating with others and all of that stuff. When you really think about it, the non-cooperative, argumentative side of things, that's not MPD. That's a step down. Can we think bigger? We can do better than that, surely, right? What we can do is make ourselves the biggest, nicest person. I quite like that one. Right? Why do we have to argue forever? Let's be wrong. And let's show everybody what big people we are because we're wrong. Does that make it a bad thing? I mean, look, all of the motivation behind this, if it helps you be a more pleasant person, then what the hell, right? What the hell? Let's go for it. Let's do it. Because to the neurotypical non-NPD people out there, you can't beat us, ultimately. We're willing to go further than you. We're willing to go into ridiculousness. Because we're arguing to win, not to be right. You aren't going to come at us being right and get anywhere. That's not going to work. Because we can throw tantrums. Right? We can lie, we can cheat, we can gaslight, we can throw tantrums, we can storm off, we can throw things, we can get upset, we can get angry, we can do all these things. And you're coming at us with being right? Come on. That's not going to get you what you want. So don't. I think that's my best advice to the people trying to argue with us. Just don't. And I'm not saying do what we tell you. No. Don't engage us. Right? disengage, walk away, leave the situation, because you're in a no-win situation. And as I've just said, what the cleverest, biggest people do is walk away from the situation, or capitulate, or admit that this isn't going the way we need it to, this needs to be brought to an end, whatever. Don't engage us. We're awful at this. In our peak, in our full flow, we're awful. Just don't engage us. And to the people with MPD, come on, you're doing it. Be the bigger person. Admit when you're wrong. Be prepared to be wrong. Right? The best people compromise, work together, are known for that, are popular for that. Being angry, being hurtful, being argumentative, that's not popular. That's not nice. It's not liked. We can do better than that. Even if we're doing it to feed our own ego through the narcissism, whatever. Heck, if we're doing it, if it makes us better, then I say go for it. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. You take care. I'll see you later.